it's documentary actually, and you can see the story of one boy that survived, but his village was destroyed completely by Russian missiles. So like everyone was helping everyone, and unity was enormous. I remember that I also came to one business that said to one warehouse, and the guy just gave like power banks, some cables, something, for defenders. And I said, "Oh, okay, cool. Do you have, more, or can you provide something more? Where do you get it?" And the guy said, I'm a director of the company, and that is the last thing that I have, and I bought it, for sale. But I understand that if we we are not winning, there will be nothing here, no business, nothing, no money. So I need to give everything that I have today, so they will live and work tomorrow. And we were just driving with these power banks and giving it to defenders. So, one of the also great examples of volunteering phenomena is a crowdfunding. I don't know if you heard, actually, Ukrainians, and then also I guess from Lithuania, people all around the world, they were just sending money for Bayraktars, and they actually gathered money for 4 Bayraktars. It's like unmanned drone, battle one, but Turkey was just giving it them for free, and for this money we rented a satellite, an ICE-Eye. And actually this is the first time I heard that society rented the satellite, and after, I don't know, it was half a year of using the satellite, we actually saved a lot of lives, because of this like satellite, we spotted like 360 tents of different troops, and 7,321 different items intact, airplanes, helicopters, war machines, everything that it was identified by looking into this ICE-Eye. And a lot of funds and crowd funds were organized, like some Come Back Alive, it's Governance Review Fund, Pritula Foundation. There was a very nice initiative with agile coaches from all around the world, making speeches for for donation, and it's named Agile for Ukraine. Maybe you've heard of it. If you don't know, like, take a look. Its videos are available. Also, a lot of knowledge they provided just for free, no, but for the donation, I would say. And there is an initiative called Colonna. In translation, it's column, and it's like people just doing a subscription, and each month we are paying like around, how much? It's like around $300 US dollars. 200 US dollars to just as a subscription to the radio station, drones, some equipment that is helping, medical equipment that is helping us win. So it's monthly subscription, and a lot of people just joining. And there is for a year already, there is a tradition in Ukraine that if someone is celebrating birthday, they are like opening the crowdfunding campaign, and it's provided by Colo tools. Like sharing the post on Facebook, for example, or LinkedIn. I'm celebrating my birthday. Do not buy anything for me. Just donate. So that will be the biggest present for me. So it's a great initiative that a lot of people, me myself also, is doing. So the key takeaway here is actually share your vision, define clear goals. When people understand threats, they will volunteer, they will find resources, and will get creative with solutions. Because from for the year already, we have 15 new types of unmanned drones manufactured in Ukraine. So people made the software for them. They volunteered, and it's actually became one of the tools of our victory. So I would say that one of the principle, like third principle, of less adoption, to use volunteers. It works. Use volunteers. Appreciate them, share vision with them. Engage people in your activities. Uh, about government, what kind of tools we actually have? Dia, I don't know if you heard of it. It's a state in a smartphone, as they call the when people just flew away from their homes, and sometimes someone lost their passport, documents, some stuff. Government decided that in this tool we will give all the documents, and they will be legal. And they will be legal maybe even in different countries. We will start this negotiation. So some countries actually recognize those documents as legal, and you just use the tool to go around the countries to open bank accounts. Everything is possible. This tool is like a multi-tool, right? It has TV and radio for communication. You can apply for renovation of your building if it was bombed, shelled, anything, right? And you can actually make a request, make a photo of enemy vehicle or something, and enemy troops, and send it to the government that, okay, in my village, in my city, there are enemy that are shooting people, so just help us. And it's cool. And Kyiv Digital is like airstrike alarm. Okay, it's notification service. If something is flying out and going off, we are receiving this notification that please go in a shelter, and it's in this app. It's a mobile app. Shelter maps, of course, and heat spots. When like we were just prepared to the winter, we thought that, okay, we will when in some houses, in my own also, electricity is down. There's a blackout. I don't have water. I don't have electricity. I don't have heat. I don't have anything. So it's like new building in the middle of the city. So you can go to some spot with this map and just warm up, for free, drink a tea, and etc. So it's kind of a cool thing. So this takeaway for this one is make convenient tool for fast feedback loop and engage people in the collaboration, top down and bottom up. Also, the principles of LeSS, that are working very well. So like in my work, also I working with leaders who who think that it's kind of a tough to always listen to the people, engineers, some just people who make an execution. But I'm telling you, don't have a choice. They bring the most innovative initiatives, and they apply them and own them. That's something that they need, not you need. You need to be kind of a manager that opens possibilities. And this is I would tell about this more in a way of servant leadership. So consistency and strategy. It's few initiatives that government also made. I think also because they saw the situation, they listened to the people. Our government actually respond to a lot of posts in social networks. So it's Ukrainian diplomats just used this crisis as a window of opportunity to make requests for European Union, for like engaging, some investors in terms of, okay, you will take this region and invest in it after the war is over. And people were saying, okay, yeah, sure. So making a contract and contract negotiations on like in the long-term perspective, like strategical steps. Grain initiatives, you know, that we are like the country and our society suffered from Holodomor, from from Soviet Union. They were just trying to get rid of Ukrainians. And right now, we, like as a society, as a government, and our government decided to, help others in need and just, feed the planet with what we have, with kind of, if we have more than we needed, why not to deliver it to the world? So it's a great initiative. One of the things to, first of all, announce that we are here, we want to share, we are the people, we are people with ethic and moral, just, we will help you and you will help us with what you can. So that is a good thing to build trust, actually. And, creating a context of new kind of a safeties where president provided peace formula, and it's also kind of initiative that is interesting to participate in, because we are suffering and we are thinking about others. So we are always thinking, never again. We should make the world better place and make it happen that no one will ever attack other country. So it's about blackouts, right? So adaptiveness of energy distribution, energy grid, as I said already, we had outages, and if we had outages, there could be no water, no heat, no electricity. And I remember my own story. There were days I was changing 5 different locations during the day just to meet my commitments, in terms of the meeting, in terms of work I want to do, in terms of the workshops. And it was like cafeteria, then it was a kind of supermarket, then then it was kind of there was like a building supply market. So then I was at home, there was a friend's home, so we were just calling each other, what is there, and we were trying to run around the city and catch the signal to meet our commitment. So it was very chaotic. A lot of people actually a lot of people suffered from those attacks, because they were, for example, our firemen, they were putting fire down on some energy plant, and then another missile strike just to cover them and just to get rid of them, and do not allow them to restore what was demolished. So like a lot of people just used the courage and their commitment and their focus, those scrum values, that to make it happen, to build alternative way of energy flow, right? Because we all those funds, volunteering funds that were crowdfunding for medical aid, they switched on power generators, and we were buying power generators for hospitals. And I know a lot of people, our engineers that were crowdfunded a generator for hospitals, and then worked from hospital, just just in the inner rooms with other people, just worked and making meetups, or coding some stuff. So it was hell of a ride. But yeah, I was just wanted to say that the culture works, and if you want to enhance your culture, work with values. Yeah, they will always help you. In kind of a strategic way. So way of servant leadership, I want to, explain the example of our president. I'm proud that this is our president, actually, because from what I know from my friends and from government officials publicly saying, he's kind of enforcing the dialogue. the dialogue between his like the ministers, vice presidents, all of the officials to get to the right decision. It's not, he's making the decision. Okay, of course, like a product owner, right? Prioritization. He's owning this stuff, but still inviting to the dialogue all sorts of experts to make the decision right, to understand what is needed. Very a lot of people are just tired from our president because he's always asking for something, asking for this, for that, etc. But we see him as an open manager, people manager that opens opportunities, that asking us what is needed, what is like tanks, like aircraft, I don't know, medical equipment, what is needed. Okay, let's do initiative, United 24, and just buy ambulance, ask people for ambulance. So I will go ask for this. So he's always trying to open new possibilities and get more resources for us, for the people on each type, on each level. And here's here's the takeaway, right? Instead of command and control, seek for opportunities and encourage new leaders, because a lot of new leaders. The last case on arose, and a lot of new leaders arose. So this week we there were news that more and more diplomats that were never in terms of government officials, they were never in the government, they was like from business, like just people that are like students from university, just left the university. They will be on the diplomatic missions. They will be in different countries, in Africa, all around Africa, in India. So like new people with new expertise will go to the to the countries where our representatives failed to do their work. Yeah, so it's kind of lessons learned, and new blood is coming. So it's cool. Of course, continuous improvement, because of, I said, the lessons learned. Our society is always looking a way to improve themselves, right? It's important in Scrum, in LeSS. It's important for our adaptiveness. As I said, we have short feedback loop through the government tools, like in apps. But me and all of my friends and all of teammates, we learned first of all how to provide medical help. So it's called TACMED workshop, right? In the very interesting environment where everything is blowing up. So it's kind of a preparation for kind of real life experience, and how to save people, with your skills already. If you are if it's happened that you're on a battlefield, right? And such kind of trainings, it's like holding a gun, medical aid. They were in a metro station. They were on special polygons for free, for a donation. So all around, and still it's happening. More and more people and society is preparing for the worst cases, right? Worst case scenario. And this is actually the cool thing, as I like as for me. And that our defenders, they receive more and more different types of equipment from all over the countries, and they need to learn that it's a logistical hell, everything new every time. But people are learning, people get creative with that, people are striving to learn. And like for foreign instructors, we are learning abroad, actually, foreign instructors saying that, yeah, they don't want to sit still, they don't want to rest, they're learning at night. They're insane. Ukrainians are just striving for learning, and it's a big motivation. I understand that this is a big threat, but we didn't have such an opportunities before, like just to go to another country and learn from different culture in terms of the military, right? But for me to, like, for technical person or for coach or for manager, it's always good to share experience as we do today, right? And go and learn something new. So for organization, I would advise to review the speed of learning and fix your feedback. About self-organizing teams, right? I will. The principle, right? When current situation is from Agile Manifest is more important than contract negotiation. Served very well and didn't allow to destroy the part of Kiev, because because couple of couple of troops in Sumy and actually Chernihiv, they stopped the military column that was coming from Russia because they didn't waited for the signal, from just order above, and they used what they have, tools in academy, they like some mines and some guns, and they just did an ambush in such a way that it stopped the attack. So it's kind of a cool thing. So like small cross-functional teams could influence the situation on the battlefield and in business. And of course, I have my own examples. I have two friends. They are all in intelligence, and they are small mobile teams. Each of them can drive the vehicle. Each of them can fire, defend themselves. Each of them can fly a drone, and there are three of them, and they go on the position, they fly, do the intelligence, go around, see what is around, reporting, and go to another way. So they are very mobile, very quick, and cross-functional. If anything is happening with one of them, they also know the medical aid, how to do the first aid. And of course, the battle for Kiev, you can learn about it, you can read about it in Wikipedia. It was won because of strategic decision and like quick mobile groups. They just strategically they shot the beginning of the huge columns of like 200 like enemy vehicles, like the end of the column, the beginning of the column, and the center with the fuel, and nobody could move. So they did just like that and moved away. So it's kind of example how we can kind of achieve a lot with a small cross-functional group. So encourage small group initiatives and actually decision making. So I see the timing, it's almost last thing. It's a system thinking, right, as a principle. I will tell about one thing that's the most important thing, actually. This is called timers. This thing was just a tool for us that appeared to be a game changer and saved thousands of lives. And why this was a game changer? Because this tool helped to blow out the warehouses with the ammunition for artillery, and actually the guns couldn't shoot, right? Russians couldn't attack cities. They couldn't destroy everything as they destroyed Mariupol. So actually the amount of strikes was reduced 20 times. And it's like a strategic thinking that we because we are defending, we don't want people suffer, die, etc. We want to live, to survive. Therefore, we need to interact with the logistics. Destroy the logistics ways, logistic ways, destroy the warehouses with ammunition, just to stop this invasion. So. Kind of this key takeaway here is constantly enhance ways of how you see the system with all dependencies and their influence, because this allows you to apply the effective tools to solve your problem. So yeah, it's kind of a conclusion. We got through all the topics that I wanted to talk about. Here's a QR code. I just couldn't couldn't miss the opportunity to invite you to donate, just because we are still in struggle, right? And it's not obligatory, of course. It's just if you will to support. Here's the QR code. Yeah, and I will just look for the questions in the chat and your comments. Jean, please help me how to facilitate this.
You may do this either way, Alex. There's some questions
Okay.
up from Luigi, from Aaron, from Galen. If you just scroll all the way up, take those. But better off if people just can, yell them out if people are still in the call.
Oh yeah. If you can, please. Yeah. I see.
I know Galen is on and his camera is on, so he can maybe start with him.
Sure, would be good.
Galen.
I mean, thank you. That was an area of interest, but actually my question is, we obviously, a lot of organizations were trying to prioritize and value, and obviously that sensing comes from everywhere. And I'm curious to sort of I guess gain some insights when it becomes really complex and there's lots of moving pieces, parts, communities. How do we work out what's important and then do that? I mean, is it small self-organizing teams? Is it because we don't have like visible queuing systems as communities, and in my organization it's it's little p politics, it's big P politics, but it's kind of governance of how to work out what's important, what matters, and therefore how do we work towards something of value for others.
I would say thank you for the question, first of all. I would say if you apply to the context of our crisis, we put the first priority was people first, put people first. And it's applied to the society, and it applies to business, and it applies to military. So we are trying to save people everywhere, right? The first thing we decided, to move people to a safe place before we can do any type of business, right? People should say that I'm safe and I'm prepared. Then we prioritize the communication. As I started from communication, I would prioritize the channels, this governments of what is happening. This is kind of a single tool of knowledge or communication would be very sufficient. For example, we use in most of my projects we use Slack, right? Slack with channels, and we have volunteer initiatives. We have they are public, and you can just see what's happening if you want to. But some initiatives just have to inform what is happening once in a while. Yeah, we have cadence, sprints, 2-week sprints. We have quarterly reviews. So such kind of frames will help to everyone, even if everything is happening around. So we are prioritizing people first, then communication channels and their clarity, then information tool, for example, Confluence or Mira board or Jira. And then we already go into the business context. Business context, what is actually happening, what is the most relevant thing for business or for our survival if you apply to our context. It's a short answer. I hope it worked a bit.
Thank you for this one. Hey, folks, anyone else? There was another question in the chat. I think from Aaron. I'm not sure if Aaron is still on. You just
I see
pick it
about
up from there.
recording.
No, let me just restate. How did your experience from this shock at the beginning of the war, where many central authorities were disrupted, citizen-led, became central until support authority resources could be rebuilt? So hopefully,
Yes, I missed that. I didn't understand. How did your experience from the shock at the beginning of the war remain central authorities were disrupted? It became central to support the resources could be rebuilt. Oh yeah, I hope I understood correctly. So yeah, as I said, the first wave like of shock, of panic, was reduced a lot because of like government officials and institutions. They were always, you know, in clear communication. Even you know, we have such institution and company that is in charge of trains, right? Like trains coming and going from city to city, called Ukrzaliznytsa. It's actually Ukrzaliznytsa was a password to identify the enemy, because Russians couldn't pronounce this this word correctly. So we were identifying is it the Ukrainian or Russian by pronouncing this word. But it's our meme already. So as you know, Ukrainians do a lot of memes, and currently it's and still you know, trying to joke and make fun of any type of situation. It also helps, by the way. It's one of my suggestions. Just try to make fun of some things. And yeah, the Ukrzaliznytsa, those trains, they were saying, okay, we don't have this train so far, but we are preparing everything. We will launch this destination in a couple of hours. Please be in the shelters until the further communication. So, and this kind of very clear message about what to do, and you know, just where to sit, you know, where you can go and be safe. It helped. Even if some tools, some things were not available at the moment, you know, money, etc. There was like we're communicating to like messengers. Messenger started to be very popular, to this Dia app, to like news, like to TV, marathon, to radio, where to go, what to do, wait until the further instructions. We will do everything, and you know, so the shock was reduced enormously because of such kind of communication, where we are not still ready, but we are preparing. Do this, you know, be ready. So, I hope I understood clearly and answered.
Thank you for this, Alex. Folks, anyone else? I'm sorry, yeah. Let's take another question before we start wrapping up. Anyone else?
Yes.
Luigi, thank you.
Well,
Luigi.
First of all, Alexander, a lot of strength from my heart to you and to your people. You deserve it.
Thank you.
That said, what can we do from here? I mean, I'm based out of Europe. Other folks are based in the United States. I'm not a military person, so I cannot deliver any arm. I cannot do that. What can we do for you?
Yeah, as I said, like this QR code that I left here in the presentation, it will be spreaded. It's not you know, there are initiatives about like drones, but it is not fully about some military equipment or something like that. This is actually about you know, a lot of we bought a lot of ambulances there. We crowdfunded you know, some food, you know, some buses, you know, that just go into the occupied territories and coming back with the people. So it's no, I remember the story when we as we asked the person, my teammate, to exchange notebook, you know, laptop with Russian soldiers to get out from occupation. I forgot to mention it. So yeah, that was the situation. He just gave his laptop and moved to the safety, to the freedom. So yeah, like a lot of initiatives that is about food, about medical equipment, also on this United 24 platform, that is not related to any type of weapon. So if you can, it would be very nice, if you could help with this, or just spread the word, spread this presentation, spread this talk. It will be also sufficient. I don't want to to make it just about money. The information from the first hands, it's something that we value. We see the importance of this, because a lot of fakes, a lot of disinformation are around. So you can help also with spreading this, with sharing this with other people. Well, thank you, Luigi, for your support.
Good question. Folks, so we're going to probably wrap this up because of the time and people started dropping.
There was one
more
last hand maybe from Nicholas.
Nicholas, yes. Did you want to ask a quick question? Or please.
It's not going to be quick, Gene, but Alexander, thank you for the work and the presentation. And hopefully, Gene, you're going to share the slides and the recording and all that.
Sure.
So, sorry?
No, absolutely, yes.
Yeah. So, Alexander, again, thank you for the work, and I thank to the Ukrainian people for the work that you guys are doing, everywhere. I have a question, from a business perspective.
Sure.
So I noticed, that you're, saying, all the good words for Scrum and LeSS. So I'm just wondering, is there anything that we can do in terms of the frameworks, right? So can we add or subtract anything from the frameworks and the values of Scrum and LeSS compared to regarding to your experience? Like, is there anything else we can do on top of that or detract anything from Scrum or LeSS that can help us in our business context? Like, I know that you're very much in agreement, but can we do anything else on top of that or detract or add anything to the frameworks? And, regarding to the real world experience that you've had?
That is actually a nice question. I would speak with you hour more in terms of kind of approaches, and sometimes I say that I'm framework agnostic, but preferably I'm going to the LeSS and Scrum. And Scrum, in essence, as you say, that in Scrum guide is saying if you miss something, if you didn't apply some part of the framework, role or artifact, it's not Scrum. You cannot call it Scrum. So, but you still can be pretty adaptive. In terms of our context, I was speaking on our internal conference, and one of my colleagues, also the coach, he was the defender serving in the army. We were speaking about one thing that could be added actually to the frameworks to make a quick decision. It's actually like lightning command, and it can be applied if you have like critical issues, in terms of business. You can set the urgency of issues. You can have someone also sitting in charge of this week, in charge of the support from your engineers who understand the context of, for example, your business, or it's not only about technological products, just to to give a fast response to the urgent issue, some server failover or like critical issue like production environment. So there could be applied like lightning protocol, first of all, and then another thing that I maybe uncover, that there is a protocol called a format, actually they're called after action review, and it's something that that is more structured, but it's actually a retrospective, right? It's a native format of a retrospective for military, but it actually can be used for the business and added up to any type of framework, because, like, you know, retrospective could be just you're asking a team what was going, what we did wrong, you know, some such question, or you can be focused on like specific problem, like why did it arose, what we did wrong, how we can learn from it, you know. Like kind of be specific in this after action review. So it's one thing that could be added, but of course we can talk more on this and more about different frameworks like LeSS, Scrum at Scale, you know, Nexus, etc., etc. But so please find me in LinkedIn, and you know we can speak more.
Slava Ukraini.
Героям слава. Дякую. Thank you very much.
Folks, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm sorry, Alex. Yeah, it was
Jin, the last thing to just we will share the presentation, and there is a documentary in 2 parts with English subtitles that made during the year of this struggle from one of the person that was like travel that was a travel blogger. He made it, and there is an interview with Commander-in-Chief, there is an interview with people, and right after occupation in Irpin. So if you're interested, if you're curious what was happening, like it's not kind of propaganda, it's just a person that made the documentary. I've just chose it specifically, it should not to be a propaganda, specifically for you to check it out. So feel free. The links are in presentation.
Folks, thank you very much for joining. Alex, thank you for coming out and doing this. Highly appreciated and admirable.
Thanks a lot for this opportunity.
Yes,
yeah.
And thank you for the
thank
opportunity.
You, Jin. Thank you.
Learn from.
Thank you, guys.
Folks, thank you very much. We'll work on the video and the materials to get them out to you soon. All the best and have a great weekend. Cheers.
Thank you.